Hey there, guys. I'm NibletK, and for the past half hour or so, I have been talking alone for you guys. And I just noticed I didn't press the record button. So, yeah, that out of the way. Let's talk about this week's schedule. This week's schedule is gonna be all over the place, but it's not gonna involve streaming. Why is that, you might ask? Well, I'm working the late shift again, and apparently, lately, I've been working the late shift more often than not, and this might be something that is going to happen in the future as well. I might end up doing multiple weeks in a row, maybe, or something like that, where I have to work the late shift. And the late shift means for me that from 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I have to go till like 11 almost at night. And we usually tended to do our super late night session extravaganza bullshit, whatever it was that I was calling it, and random bullshit. But those things are bad. Okay, so I figured out they're bad from the get-go, but there's nothing wrong in trying new things, even if you're set to fail. I was rambling about failure is not bad for the past half hour without recording, so that was fun. So what I wanted to say is the late night sessions are bad in the form that I have to go in a lower register. I have to talk like this, like I am like an ASMR stream or something like that, and we're doing like the whole vibey, moody thing and just talking like nonsense and not really doing anything productively or hyper, or me being really tired. Okay, so that's bad. You see that is bad. And also my mood is not great because I come home, one, I'm tired, which is obvious after a normal shift, an 8-hour shift of working your ass off. Coming home and trying to do something productively is really hard unless you have like really an abundance of energy and you still have it. Okay, cool. I have those days as well where after work I'm like super energetic, super into things I can do. I could probably not sleep the entire night and just go through and do certain things. But most of the times, you're tired, you're yawning, your body is tired. Even if you're still fit mentally to be able to do anything that you still want to do, your body's like, your bones hurt, your innards hurt all over the place. You're yawning, your eyes are fucking like going down on you. Plus, there's the other aspect. My wife is working, my wife is working the early shift. So that means at the point where I get home, she's already asleep. And, as a mental thing, knowing that she's asleep, I have the feeling that I have to be as quiet as I can, like ninja stealthy guy. Not to be able to ruin her sleep because she's gonna wake up in the morning and she has to go to work and she has to be well rested. And that takes also, out of the entire thing of your creativity, because you can't really focus on it because you feel like you don't want to go overboard to disturb the other person. Coming back to that, this is a week where I'm working the late shift yet once more. That means I have more time for myself in the morning. I didn't get to have morning streams. It's really awkward. I did it in 1 week. I did it and I started off, but the sun comes up, really shines on my face really hard, and after a while it goes away. Today is a cloudy day, it doesn't really matter that much, Sure, I have drapes and curtains and I can pull them. That's all well and whatever. Those are just things I have to figure out, such as this thing. What I'm trying to say is, right now, I'm focusing more on the little details and, the niche, the persona of NibletK, the entire thing, the integrity of all of it, all that revolves around YouTube, that revolves around Twitch being live, that revolves around social media. All those things I have to work on. And doing all of those things requires time and planning. Planning is not my forte up until now because I didn't take the time to plan anything out. I'm pretty, open-minded and having a lot of ideas because let's face it, I have a lot of ideas in shortest amount of time and I get bored really fast, more often than not. But it's not that I get bored of the thing entirely. It's just that I'm always trying to find something else to, to stimulate my needs, my hobbies, my nerdiness. I don't know exactly why I'm like that, but that's just the way I am. And I always want to do more things, and I'm really intrigued about, seeing things, learning new things, and I'm really passionate about them. I'm passionate about photography now. I'm passionate about videography, doing YouTube. I'm passionate about being live. It really sucks sometimes because I feel like it's really taking out the fun out of it sometimes. And I know the rule of being consistent with your things and being consistent in something that you suck at. You're still gonna suck at it at a certain point. You're gonna be still there. You're not gonna progress if you don't take the time to learn how to progress. Just by doing something on a repetitive thing doesn't mean that you're always going to progress. Sure, there are skills where the more you do something, the better you're gonna get at it, and that's pretty much the more things in life are like that. And yes, that revolves even in streaming. It might suck, but the more you do it, the better and more comfortable you're going to get to, one, talking alone, talking to yourself, reacting to people in chat, right? Because people are going to join your channel eventually. Interacting with people, being nice, being sarcastic, being whatever it is that you are. Don't try to be something you're not. I tend to fall into that category as well sometimes. This is me talking like normally right now. Sometimes my accent disappears, like I fuck up a word and I start sounding Russian or really awkward. My wife was telling me you should stop doing that because you feel fake. And I said, yeah, I get it, but that comes natural to me. And how should I say this? It's okay. I mean, I don't mind it that much. But you can feel that I'm a little bit fighting with it. Or at least maybe that's just in my point of view or in my head. But I am fighting with it. But these are things I have to go through, and things like this, I have to do them because I'm not gonna get better at talking English, at being entertaining, at exploring my personality and sharing it out into the internet. I'm not gonna get better at that by, I don't know, sitting and watching videos. Because let's face it, we all do that. We all watch a lot of things. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube. I binge the shit out of YouTube when I find something interesting, something that I am interested in that fills up my how should I say this? Fills up my energy, fills up my creative juices, and makes me want to be better at creating my own content. That said, Right now I lost my train of thought. And that happens a lot, especially when you're trying to be online in the flick of a second. Right now I'm recording exactly like that, like I would be live. I could edit this and cut it out and do all that jazz, but I don't want to. I'm just gonna ramble on and on and on and on. So things like that will happen. You can start one idea, you're gonna get distracted either by the game or either by someone in chat asking something differently. You're gonna go on that specific thing, you're gonna jump on that comment or question or whatever it is, and you're gonna talk a little bit about that, and then you want to come back to what it is that you initially were talking about. Or you might get reminded by someone in chat, hey, you were talking about, let's say, a specific card, why that is in your deck, and you might be blank after that. You might not remember. You jump from one thing to another. Pretty much, when you're doing this kind of content, you have like 2 to 3 things that you have to think about or work simultaneously. Because one is your story, the one story that you're telling. Like right now I'm telling you the story about storytelling. The second part is anything that comes in between. Things that in your main story you might have subcategories. Like if you're talking about a game and at one certain point in that description of that game, you're going to go on one mechanic of the game, or on one character of the game, or on specific things that the game doesn't do well, or bugs or something like that. And then you have to tie all those things up, finish them, and come back to that story. And the third thing is like distractions that happen all around you. Sometimes if you're doing a video for YouTube, it's a little bit easier because you can cut certain things out if a take doesn't go the way you wanted it. However, you might have a great idea, a glimpse of inspiration of something really cool that you wanted to do or share or say, and that take was like the perfect one. You had the perfect emotion, the perfect vocabulary, and everything turned out okay, and then just someone walks into your shot or something like that, and you can't change that. Sure, you say I can edit some of the things out, but maybe the best part was right there, and you didn't notice it up until it was too late. And then you can either re-record, do another session, because that is something that is allowed in videography, because you can do as many takes as you want and get the best one, but that spark might be gone. It's not gonna feel as good as the first one. And the same thing goes for being live. You're live, literally live. Anything that you do, say, or react to, it's not gonna change. It's gonna stay there. It's gonna get clipped if you do something stupid, and it's gonna stay on the internet forever. There's no takebacks in being live. It's real life, right? You can't take anything back in real life once you said it to someone. Sure, the most you can do is say, sorry, I didn't mean it that way, or anything like that, but you still said it. There's no going back and saying something else. That's it. And that's why you gotta get real good at people skills, linguistics, talking, vocabulary. All these things take time. All right. If you're not formed by now, even like the best English guy who learned proper English and knows how to speak with an extraordinary accent will also might have blockages in certain points. He might get stuck at certain points, right? Those are things you learn by doing, by having time, by letting everything flow naturally. And this was like a big side road right now, and I need to come back to the main story that I was telling. So the main story that I was telling you guys is my weekly schedule. My weekly schedule was usually trying to stream Monday to Friday for 4 hours a day. That means from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock when I was working the normal shift. The normal shift. And lately I'm working the late shift more often. Also, I am not really happy, so to say, with all of the progress that I mean, I am happy with the progress I made. I just feel that I'm a little bit stuck unless I take more time to dedicate to the little things that I really need to, put all in their specific place so that everything can work together. Other than that, I feel like I am neglecting my time for my specific things that I love and I want to, run after, to chase. I want to chase my dreams and not keep them as dreams forever. I want to do more things and I want to enjoy more things in life as well. I'm not saying I have to be successful at each and everything, but the journey is more than the destination, things like that. Quotes like that exist all over and they're all true at some certain point in life. Because I want to experience what I can as much as I can when I can. If I keep postponing everything and saying, no, it's not perfect, it's not the way I want it right now, it has to be this way and that way, up until that point, and that point reaches, the deadline is there and you're not satisfied with what you have up until that point, then you're saying, no, I'm just gonna postpone it because the deadline is set by me, so I can do what the fuck I want because this is my show, this is my thing, this is my whatever. And then you're just gonna do that and do that and do that, and you're never gonna be satisfied, and plus you're never really gonna do anything. So don't be afraid to fail. That is something new that I'm learning right now. So everything I have done up until this point, I have been in a ton of shit, a ton of stuff, learning, doing, figuring out everything that I can. Sure, sometimes it sucks. Not everything is as fun as it is at the beginning. Hard work and dedication usually starts off with not being as fun. Learning to edit video, that's not fun at the beginning, but it's nice after you start learning tricks and starting to get a workflow, starting to learn a workflow and then seeing your product, your end video, and you can sit back and say, I did that. Sure, it took me a month, but I did that. I learned that. Now the next project that I might have, it's not gonna take me a month because I already know, a bunch of steps that I need to take. Preparations are better, easier, workflow is a lot better. So it might only take me a week. Okay, cool. So now I can do in a month 4 projects, 4 weekly projects. And that is also something I want to talk about is I saw the thing at day 9, I believe he did a specific event or something like that where he would encourage his viewers, his followers to engage into putting in the time for 1 week into a specific project that they wanted to do. Be it, this week I want to learn how to cook spaghetti, the best spaghetti bolognese, or, just get down 5 recipes of spaghetti, or learn some code, or learn how to take night photography, or, things like that. And that's a really, really cool thing. Taking the time on a week, a specific week, dedicating 4 to 5 or maybe the entire 7 days of it to a specific project. Okay, this week I want to get back into music a little bit, at least a little bit. I started out a little bit on the weekend and I am rusty as hell. I haven't played in forever. It's more than 7-8 years. I haven't really played the instruments, right? I'm sure I'm fiddling around, but fiddling around is literally fiddling around. Playing 2-3 notes or a chord or something like that, that is not playing. That is bullshit. That is me fiddling around with my phone or something like that. It's just some really expensive, stupid looking fidget spinner at that point. Getting back into actually playing, I noticed I have to go back to the basics, to the fucking basics of doing warm-up exercises and just finger exercises, and they hurt as hell. But I'm gonna take this week and focus a little bit more on, getting back into music. So that means I have a little bit more time for myself, and I'm just gonna take the instrument and do specific warm-up exercises for half an hour a day, and see how that goes. And in a week's, in 1 week, I'll be at least a little bit better. My muscles are gonna get a little bit better, my fingers are gonna get a little bit better, and then if I still want to do that, it's not gonna be as hard, from here on out for me, because now I can dedicate whenever I want in a week. And in a upcoming week, I can dedicate when I have free time. I can just pick up the bass or pick up the guitar and start fiddling around more, more, how should I say it? I want to say progressively, but I don't know if that thing works right now. What I'm trying to say is that every time I'm going to do it from this point on, after I do this entire week, I'm gonna get slowly better and better and better, and I can dictate what it is that I want to learn more easily. But the main thing that I want to focus on is getting that 1 week, that 1 period, that 1 week period specifically, and sticking to it. I'm also gonna do a lot of other things. That doesn't mean you're gonna dedicate your entire time to one specific thing and that's it. You can do whatever you want, but really try to focus on one specific thing for 1 week, and you're going to progress in more things more easily. Excuse me yet once more. So coming back to the really beginning of this video, and constantly looking to see it, am I still recording? Because I don't want to ramble on and on and on for nothing yet, for the second time. So that all being said, I'm really taking the time, so don't expect as many streams for this year. I'm trying to really get everything sorted out, put on paper, because I want to put everything on paper to have a good base of what it is that I want to do with NibletK as a channel, as a persona, and I want to stick to it. I want to learn more things, constantly learning. Like I said, this year was a really all over the place learning curve for me. I learned a lot of things that are good, that are not good, where I have to, crunch the numbers a little bit more, to dial it up, and where to dial it down. And other than that, we're gonna focus on next year. So hopefully everything goes according to plan. If not, we're gonna take 1 week at a time, starting this week, and we're gonna do as many projects as we can. That also means I'm gonna probably put a projects how do you say those things in YouTube? Category. That's it. we're gonna probably put a weekly projects category, and we're going to try to, vlog it, even though I might not end up doing daily progression vlogs or something like that. We might do at least something like this, but a little bit more cinematic, let's say. We're gonna try to do, at least for the projects themselves, a small story. Let's say a small story revolving around the project, so that as a whole you're going to see, start, story, and a finish of that specific project. So this week it's going to be a little bit music and maybe some other shenanigans. I don't know exactly, but I really want to get into that. Hope you guys enjoyed this randomness. Hope you guys got something out of it. I'm really curious to see what you guys might have in store for a weekly project, and what is it that you might want to try out, and what are your hobbies, what are your skills that you have acquired up until now, what it is that you want to do. So just leave comments all over the place if you want. If not, may you have a good day. Outros, I gotta work on my outros. I really hate my outros because I feel like I said something but not enough. Maybe I should say something more. Maybe just a little bit more. I get stuck. I don't know exactly what to say. I could just learn something out, start doing like a little poem. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you liked the video. If not, who cares? I'll see you guys in the next one with some more topics, some more blah 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 blah, something like that. It's not bad to work on those things. Again, I'm rumbling on. Doesn't matter. It's not bad to work on those things. Don't learn them by heart in the way that they have to sound mechanic. Learn them, practice them as organic as you can, if that makes any sense. Try to find something that is really organic to the way that you would actually say it. And it has to feel really organic, really real to you specifically. And then you can say it, mechanically, I guess. That's the thing. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you liked it. And I'll see you guys in the next time. I appreciate all of your guys' support.